Melody is to music what storyline is to a story. Utilize the elements you have chosen for exploration in your life, your gifts, talents, abilities, motivation, circumstances, and the other characters in your play. Orchestrate the most interesting and growth engendering story from this combination of possibilities. Understand that you are the player and the played in the melody in your life. And that was a passage from the Mayan Oracle, Galactic Language of the Light, by Ariel Spilsbury and Michael Briner. And that is that is one of the descriptions coming out from Ish, which is one of our main characters of our story today. So Ish, sorry, not Ish, I often say Ish. I'm probably going to pronounce it a little wrong, but it's actually Ish. Ish is the jaguar heart, and he's one of the 20 star glyphs of the Mayans that kind of make the construct that go around of the Mayan calendars. And he's one of our guest stars for today. So aloha, my name is Moana, and I am Moana Anela, the Hawaiian Gypsy. And welcome to my reading today. And this is the monthly reading I do every month. I missed July, but this is the monthly reading I do for the general collective. So it's pretty much everybody. If you feel to come to this reading today, then this message is for you. And it's the energies that are going to be projected throughout the month. So welcome. And if you've been to my readings before, welcome back. Glad to see you here again, and glad to see you here if you're new. I don't like big intros, so I'm just going to kind of get right into it. However, it does go without saying, and it is a good reminder, these are general readings. So some of it may resonate, all of it may resonate, none of it may resonate. If this message is not for you, that's fine. There's lots of other readers, and there's, reasons that there is diversity in the universe, and that's the beauty of everything. So it's a wonderful thing, and it's a journey to find, whom and what does resonate with you. So yes, you're welcome to stay and enjoy the reading. So my readings, I have the Mayan Oracle. I start off with the Mayan Oracle, and then that's my first section, and I go into the tarot, and then I do the mudra for the month. Now, interestingly enough, I normally only pick one, but three came out. So I'm going to go more into the three and talk a little less about the numerology, because it just kind of ties in. And then, we don't want to get into repeating so much. So before I get into the Mayan, we're going to talk about one thing I'm starting to do kind of new in my readings is I want to talk about the moon phases. And I want to, because it's a monthly read, I want to talk about both going into the month of August. And so in the month of August, we are coming up to a full moon in Aquarius. Now, these are the only cards that I actually picked on purpose. The rest actually, I meditated and they came out as usual, shuffled, and they came out. But these ones, because I just want to kind of like illuminate, if you will, the energies of the moons that are coming out. And this is something I'm going to be doing every reading, but we're going to talk about the energies just slightly. So we have a full moon in Aquarius that's on August the 3rd, and it might be August the 4th, depending on where you are on the planet. This is in North America. So, and then we have a new moon in Leo, and that's on August the 19th. So interesting. This is beautiful. And this is really going on with what's going on these in our lives for most of us. We have Aquarius, and the interesting thing about Aquarius is we're moving into the age of Aquarius. Saturn had moved into Aquarius for a bit there, and then it recently moved back out of Aquarius back into Capricorn. However, I really like that kind of process. There's really kind of a neat process to me. It's kind of like a fun thing as well, because Saturn moving into Aquarius is kind of like initiating that start, initiating that fire, lighting that new candle, if you will, the fire for what's new, what's coming. And then going back into Capricorn, it's like finishing off all the things, like all our lessons, so we can begin to really embrace this freedom. I want to say freedom, but freedom in a way of the limitless expansion. And that's what we have, with Aquarius, that limitless expansion of expression of who you are, stepping into who you are. But now, I think we all have really started again. It's like the initiation, starting again into learning about who we truly are, that our lives now, that was a life where we were living mostly for lessons. Even though we may have thought, oh yeah, this is my life. I claim this. But of course, as we grow, we learn and we have greater understanding. And with greater understanding, no, I'm not going to say comes greater responsibility. But with that being said, with greater understanding, we're able to become responsible for who we are, being who we are, and expressing that and living our truth, living, who we are meant to be. And that's the Aquarius. And what I love about these moons is, they both kind of talk about confidence. And it says right here, in the new moon on the 19th, we have the new moon in Leo, and confidence is your key to success. So this is really, and of course we have the yellow, so solar plexus chakra. Sorry, sometimes I have a tendency of talking too fast. I just kind of mumble everything. But solar plexus chakra. So that's totally the Leo, being confident, he questions. He does not question who he is at all. There's no question. He knows who he is, and he just acts upon, what he feels he needs to do at every single moment. He doesn't even need to think about it. And this is the confidence that we're stepping into. And all that energy is coming out. When we get into the star glyphs, we're going to go through a little bit more of that process, that journey. So this is fabulous. So I really, really invite you all to embrace this beautiful full moon in Aquarius. That's on the 3rd. It's just around the corner. I'm doing this reading on the 27th of July. So yeah, show the world the real you. And that's what the energies, they're not just asking. They're saying it's time. Don't hold back. Let go. So we're going to start with the mind. Now, yes, when I do my readings, for those of you who have not seen my readings before, and it's probably a lot of you, I'm slowly kind of getting out there, and that's fine. I don't mind at all. I love small or big. To me, it's all about who is needed for these messages, and that's a beautiful thing. So I love whomever is watching this, and I can feel like just the beauty in all your energies, and because you were guided to watch this if you're watching this, and that's just right there is that connection of beauty, and you are so ready to be limitless in yourself. Of course, that's in self-expression, that's in being who you are. So I'm not referring to, if we need to go out and do whatever we need to do to be safe and stuff like that. But however, never change your heart. And that's what the message is all about. So I pull in the energies of the Mayans, I pull in the energies of the Egyptians, and then I also pull in the energies of Aborigines as well, and then of course the Hawaiians. And we're going to begin with these. I'm just going to bring these cards up. Okay, so I missed a month, and so now we're talking to August. However, all readings, kind of goes without saying, they are also timeless. I mean, this is definitely, I'm reading the energies that are here, that are happening right now. However, there are times when you may see something pop up and it's like, oh, I want to see what that message is about. And it could have been a reading from a year ago. However, Spirit is bringing it to you now because there might be something for you to see in that. So yeah. However, so we had 3 come out. I normally only pick 1, and we have Ak. Now, the interesting thing about Ak, he's been coming out for the last 3 months. I didn't do a reading last month, but I always pick these every month, even if it's just for me. And he's so beautiful. Ak represents the dog. His really main message is that of loyalty, and we're gonna get into that in a minute. So then we have Ak. And you can kind of like feel from the cards, you can kind of feel how, you know, the Mayans were, when they're like drawing the glyphs out, the star glyphs, the depiction of the energies. And you can kind of feel, this is actually, Kawak is the storm. And you can kind of see this X. And it's kind of like, you know, the storm has landed. We're going through it, so we're not quite done. Because there's more up here. So there's more yet to come. However, over here, and it looks like a kind of like a Saturn. I'm not going to say what it is. I haven't gotten into the symbology. I'm just more like at the place of all the meanings. However, and then we got this surrounding the planet. So with that, there is a sense of protection. And that's something I wanted to kind of mention when I was saying it's time for you to be limitless and express yourself. It's always been safe, but you know, there's a time where we feel like now you can feel empowered to do so. Let's put it that way. And it feels like it's the right time. And what I wanted to bring out back then is that Spirit is also protecting you. Spirit is saying, yes, you can't go wrong. Be who you are. Saturn's such a unique planet. I mean, they all are, but it's you know, it's really is a wonderful thing of self-expression. Speaking of which, I'm having trouble talking. Which is interesting because it can be the opposite energy of Saturn. And you know, Saturn's ruled by Capricorn, which does talk about a lot of limiting things. Now, interesting thing about that, and I always talk about the components of opposite energies because they are actually complementary energies. So what I want to bring out here with this storm, it's a storm of cleansing. Of course, we've all known this. We've been doing this for a while. We've been cleansing out a lot of old stuff. But what happens sometimes, you know, when there's that hard storm and it hits, the rain is hitting the ground kind of hard. What happens is, if you have, like I used to live in Hawaii, so some of the roads were of, you know, that of dirt and sand. So watching the rain, and it was really magical and it was really beautiful. And watching the rain just kind of smack down onto the ground, and it really, you could actually hear the sound, smack, smack, smack. And it was just a beautiful sound. But what was really neat, it wasn't like the rain was just cleansing. I mean, it was hard. It was hitting the ground, and it was like kind of uprooting the ground. It was, you know, kind of disturbing it. Like, so it was taking the dirt, and the dirt literally was just kind of like popping up like popcorn, like, you know, so the rain would hit it, and then the ground would just kind of pop up and just land, and it would kind of make a bit of a mess. So what's happening is this storm is coming, and it's so what's happening is Spirit wants you to remember to keep reminding yourself that as a storm, yes, a little bit worse is yet to come before it gets better. But don't forget who you are. And also don't forget to remember that this is part of the cleansing process. And sometimes it needs to be a bit harsh. So if we talk about that tough love kind of thing, but from the universe, right? But it just wants you to be reminded. It may feel harsh. It may feel like we're getting like, you know, just right knocked out. Maybe even a bit winded, but I want you to be reminded that this, because we're at the end, and it's always the hardest at the end, and always the toughest, but Spirit wants you to remember who you are. You got Leo, new moon on the 19th. They'll use that Leo strength, that inner strength, to just keep pursuing. And don't get into, don't get into anything that is not serving you or is not, you know, complementing your growth and your spirituality. So there's things that are being said out there that are of fear and of like, you know, trying to be limiting. Don't get into that. Don't let that get into your psyche. Allow yourself to continue to let go of those things. Now, this is where Ish comes in. Ish is the jaguar, very, very powerful. He's a very, very powerful energy. He is the spirit that walks back and forth between worlds. Now, what's interesting, and we have the Leo new moon again on the 19th. I'm just going to mention that again because of the fact we have just entered also the Lionsgate portal. That has just opened. And that is really, you know, us being able to tap into our higher selves, to tap into the knowledge. If we can't figure something out, okay, allow us ourselves to just kind of really embrace our own heart, our true heart, right? And stay with your integrity. He's also about integrity. He's about honesty. He's about truth, because he in a different way, he has no fear, because he can walk anywhere and he knows he'll be safe. And that's the feeling Spirit wants you to have with you, especially through coming to the end of the storm, is that you can weather the storm. You can do it because you have your team of spirit guides, angels, ancestors. You really do have a team of spirit entities, spirit bodies that are behind you, and they're guiding you, and they're also protecting you. We have the shield of protection that's going on. And so always stay true to your integrity. Stay true to who you are. And don't be afraid. Oh, I love to get bossy, by the way. I get bossy into my readings. So don't do this, do that. But of course, again, general read, so you don't have to take my advice. Okay, so really, so really cool, because you are really cool. And just keep embracing. If things are getting really crazy and hectic out there and kind of illusion, because, you know, Ish, he can also bring up, that's a jaguar heart, he can also bring up a bit of illusionary energy. And so what he would guide you to do is find the truth when things seem to like, oh my goodness, what's going on? And things be kind of a little elusive around you. So he will be there to guide you. Say, okay, well, just find the truth. Go back to your center, go back to your core, go back to your heart, and just know who you are. You do know who you are. Now it's just time to slowly bring that out, not the inside outside. So in the numerology, we're getting now more into like more energies of divinity and cosmic energies. So what's interesting, and why this is also happening here again, which was interesting, we pulled the card. Let me bring these cards up. Now I'm going to read the numerology cards just as one, because they actually, to me, they came out as one, and I'm going to explain. So we have the portal. Let's see if we make that a little clearer there. So we have the portal of transcendence, okay? That is the portal. That's like you being birthed, you're being reborn again. So again, we're talking about you coming through this cosmic portal, being born into your higher self. So that is really the cool thing that this card came out. I promise you, I shuffled and it came out through the shuffles. This is really talking about the energies of this lion gate. this Lionsgate portal that we are having right now. It goes from the 26th of July to the August 8th, sorry. So just after the full moon, which is really interesting. So, and of course the full moon's in Aquarius. So really a time expression. So, but it's also really, it's a good time now to really start tapping into your higher selves, into your ancestors, into your spirit guides, whoever you see is fit for you, because this portal it's available to you. And that's the other thing Spirit wants you to know, is that this portal is available to you, and you can access it. And also, again, I mean, we can't really ask a baby, how was that journey down the birth canal? But if he could talk, he'd probably say, dang, you know, I was like squashed, and my heart, you know, is going up and down, and then it's dropping down low, and then, you know, and it was dark, and I really didn't know where I was going, but hey, I was being led and guided somehow to just follow that little light at the end of the tunnel. So this is what we may be feeling. We may be feeling like we're being squeezed, squeezed out and becoming into our higher selves, a whole like rebirth thing. But we all know it's a beautiful thing, and it's very rewarding. So Spirit wants you to know you are really stepping into who you really are right now. And it's really, 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 it's a really great thing, and it's a wonderful experience, and it's a wonderful journey. We just have to remember that even when things are not going so great, they are awesome. They're more than awesome. All right, so I'm going to talk a bit about sorry, I was not holding the card straight. Okay, so we have the energies of, I'm just going to flip it around. We have the energies of 4, okay, and then the energies of 8. Now the interesting thing, the 8 is a double 4, so it's still a 4. But the thing is that 8, when we have the double 4, the numerology of the 8 is coming into completion. Now, these cards talk about like measure and then harmonic resonance. Okay, so talking more like if we talk along the line of music. Music is a universal language. And so is mathematics. Now, numerology only goes till 9. But 9 is where we get 3 3s. So now it's that kind of like, it's a time things have come to full completion. Things are at its end. And then, you know, we have that destruction, that tower moment, and then comes the new beginning. Well, right now, where we are coming into a complete self, the 8. So if we think about music again, so we have the 4, like the 4 bars, and then we have 8. 8 is an octave. So when we come to the end of an octave, a new octave begins, and it's at a higher level. So that's what's happening. We are coming into completion of who we are here on the physical. 4 is very physical, it's a manifestation, and we are coming to a complete self here on the physical, and now we are ascending. We are ascending into a higher self, where we are now becoming more spiritual beings more than ever, probably more than the history of, you know, this whole Northern American society, which, you know, it's been around, I would say at least, you know, at least over 1,000 years. But we are really starting to begin to tap back into a higher sense of being. Shows that all that transformation, transcendental type energies. All right, so some of the other things that are coming through and coming into the Egyptian energies, what came out is we have, I'm just going to grab these right here. So guidance from the Egyptian energies, and it's all kind of the thing, is divine destiny. So divine destiny is is the path of the divine warrior. So yeah, it's the same message. So it's basically asking you to become your divine warrior. So what will happen is the more you step into yourself, the more you become who you are, the more you're going to be walking the path of your destiny. And that's just going to happen naturally. It's not going to be effort. It's going to be effortless. And so there's going to be some changes. Some of you, there's going to be ending up, definitely, you're going to find the changes will be, you're going to find movement. So for some of you, there'll definitely be change in a new job, a new career, a new place to live, everything is being elevated. So there could be new promotion. So there's definitely a change and coming into like in your life, even though, because the energies follow the energies. So even though like we may be transcending into more spiritual energies than we are associating with the physical energies, you know, we are still in the physical realms, but what's going to happen is your whole higher, the whole level of higher sense of living is going to be elevated. And so we have Nut came out, and this is interesting, a lot of moon energy. So a lot of things are coming forth. Fruition. So we have a Nut. She represents the Milky Way, and again, they're letting us know that we have access to all this sacred knowledge. You know, and when we need it, whenever we need it, to just be able to follow and to know, you know, what path, what direction, you know, should we get confused. But I'm getting, you know, pretty much a lot of us know where we're going, because then we have Khonsu, and he's the moon god, and basically he is the son of Amun. If some of you are familiar with Egyptian, if you're not, Amun Ra he's like the sun god, but Amun Khonsu, sorry, he's the son of Amun and Mut, and so in Egyptian, that's pretty much that is pretty much like the Trinity, well, we say the Holy Ghost, but it's actually the Mother, the Father, and the Son. And he represents the Son in the Trinity. And with that Trinity, you have the full, you know, that full circle, that completion of creation. So that is why, you know, the ending, because this 3 is the number of creation and or destruction, because you can't have one without the other. Both energies have to exist. And that's why I talk, rather than saying, oh, opposite energies, I talk about complementary energies, because you can't have one without the other. And that's how creation works. You have to have, even if it's in just the general world out there, you have to have male and female. So there's a lot of creation going on, but Spirit wants you to know not to don't just settle. That time is over. It is, you really want to go after for what you want. Of course, do it smartly. But basic, and of course, yes, some things may, you know, we have to deal with divine timing as well. So some things may take a little longer than we anticipate. However, things are moving. I think things are going to be probably moving, you know, faster than, it's going to be moving, you know, pretty much to the comfort level that we would like it to. So I don't think that's going to be an issue pretty soon. Right now, things have been pretty stagnant. Right now, I'm looking at Kawak there. There's the Kawak there. Just going to move that in there. So there's Kawak right there. I'm just kind of looking at that, and pretty much what I'm seeing is that he looks a little like calm, you know, at the top. But then the more and more time carries on, it's going to get like a little rougher and rougher and rougher. So there is, right now we're at a time of calming and recuperating. As I look on to Ak there, right there. I'm also getting, he's come out a third time because he also wants to now say, well, here's now the message I have, the deeper message I have come forward. And he's also wanting to remind us is healing. We're still healing. We're still wanting to, you know, complete the cycle of endings, which, you know, it can be very painful. It can still be very striking. And there is also, you know, with the Egyptian cards, it talks about unconventional. There's unconventional endings. And so there are certain things that are going to come, they're going to end. It's going to be like, oh my goodness, I can't believe that happened. I can't believe, I knew it was going to end, but I can't believe it ended like that. And I can't believe this has entered my life. So a lot of unconventionalities, a lot of surprise endings. So, and it's going to kind of end all of a sudden. So it's going to seem like, oh wow, things are going on forever and ever and ever. It's like, whoo, geez, I thought this had ended already. And yeah, things may come up like the, you know, the rain hitting hard on the ground, ripping up that dirt. You know, things may still keep resurfacing, but we're almost there. It is almost over. And then all of a sudden it's going to be ending, but it's going to be like, I had no idea that was even possible. So, which is crazy and great at the same time, because that also will give us the, you know, that anticipation of, wow, things are limitless. Our whole perception and possibilities are limitless, because if this can happen, I know there'll be stuff that'll shake you up. There'll be stuff like that'll hit your mind. I'll be like, holy cow, if that can happen, then I believe. But it will really give us, you know, that feeling and that knowing, yes, anything is possible, and we just need to follow our heart. So from the Aborigine, we have sacred knowledge. And what I like, I'm going to bring this up too. And then from the Hawaiians, we have Lanakila, which is triumph, victory to triumph. Now this Hawaiian intention cards is my intent. I mean, here, I'll let you guys see that. I'm just going to read the part, just the short part there. But if you guys want to pause this later and read over that part, you can. But I'm just going to read the intention. My intention is to transmute unhealthy choices to healthy ones, to triumph over self-sabotaging thoughts, and to be comfortable and joyous in my own skin. So what does that mean? That means overcoming that Eight of Swords, right? Where we think we're trapped, where we think things are limiting, overcoming that limiting belief, overcoming any self-sabotage, overcoming anything. When you start feeling that you're going back into a place of, you know, self-doubt, oops, sorry about that. When you feel like you're going back into a place of self-doubt and what have you, it's a time to say, you know what? I'm just not going to think. I'm just going to follow for now, and I'm going to meditate. And that is kind of what the sacred knowledge is all about. Again, we're talking about sacred knowledge. We're talking about ancestors being there. We're talking about wisdom of parents. This card is a bit about, you know, it has like a motherly story, mother giving wise wisdom to the child, and the child not listening, and he wavers far from home. But every now and then, you know, it's getting colder and it's harder for him to find his way home because it's getting colder and darker earlier. And then one night he gets stranded out there, and we're talking like an older kid, so actually the stories actually depict stories of animals. But anyhow, so he gets stranded, and you know, and of course he is protected, but in the meantime he has to embrace the cold, and he finally comes home. And then he tells his mom, you know, because then he was warmed by the sun in the morning, and then he finds his way home, and he tells us he's warmed by his mother's love, who was worried about him all night, or her, the child. And but basically it was then the child, you know, let go of the ego and found his place back home to his mother and or her mother, and he is saying, I will now listen to you. I can see that, you know, you were giving me wise words. So that's an average story, and they usually make their stories out of animals, so don't get too scared there with the child being out all night in the dark. But anyways, the whole point is that we have wisdom. And the reason why we have access to wisdom of our ancestors, the reason why a lot of the feminine motherly energy coming through is because right now it's kind of what's needed right now. A lot of us, you know, when we have fear or we fall down, we scratch ourselves when we're kids, you know, the one that comes and really heals the heart is the mother, because they nurture our heart. They make us feel better, you know, cook us that warm soup, and you know, they don't just put a band-aid, clean off, put a bandage out over it, right? They do it carefully and slowly with a lot of love, and we can feel the love, and that's the warming on the inside. So the sun gives us the warming on the outside, but the mother's love gives us the warming on the inside. And Spirit is reminding us to awaken that wisdom, that love, that nurturing love, that wisdom on the inside, and just waken that in you, because you have it. Whether you're male or female, it doesn't matter. We all both are balanced with male and female energies. Again, that's the laws of the universe. Is everything is balanced with both masculine and feminine. And that's our power. And when we tap into ourselves, when we tap into that nurturing love within ourselves, and then that's what we want to embrace. And that's what we want to bring up like a rumbling volcano, bring it up and express it out to the world. And that's what's going to be needed, not only for yourself, but the world is going to need it. So this is really, in a way, also a call to action from you know, the cosmos, the spirits, our ancestors are calling. Waken your heart. Don't allow. There's no such thing as failure. There's no such thing as basically, there's just no such thing as anybody doing like wrong. I can't do wrong. I can't really make a mistake. They're not mistakes. They're lessons. Okay, this is how we learn. We have to be comfortable with ourselves to, you know, fall down, if you will, because when we understand, we really believe, if we really know that if we fall down, if we fail, whatever, there's no such word as failure, by the way. I scrapped that from my vocabulary. There's no such thing as failure, because when we have this knowing of no matter what we do, we will always be picked up. We will always be loved. There is this forever love. And we need to awaken that within ourselves. And that's going to be the healing for ourselves and the grand healing for the universe. And what's interesting is when I pulled the chakra card, we have I am present. There's no beautiful message. And you can see the woman's face. She's so peaceful. And when you are present, you have this lion energy, right? That lion heart, truth, jaguar heart, integrity. You can weather the storm. You'll see the storm as beauty. You'll hear the beauty in the storm. Your perception's going to change. It won't see this storm that's all scary and uprooting the earth. You'll see the storm as, wow, this is balance in the universe. If we look at the rain bubbles of the card, they're all balanced and they're supporting each other, and it's all connected. And so when we have this I am presence, then it's like we have this connection and interconnection with everything that happens around us, that we will find that peace in chaos, because that chaos and finding that peace in chaos is the true balance. And that is where, if you want to learn more about that, you can look into like the wisdom of the Tao, Zen, all those kind of things. There's a lot of stuff out there with that. But so yeah, that's the beauty. And Spirit wants you to know that you are part of the storm. Don't separate yourself from the universe. Why would you do that? You are not separate from the universe. You are part of the universe. It's all beautiful. It's all continuous movement. It's a dance of the cosmos. It's a dance of you know, if you want to go to the atomic level, it's a, you know, a dance of atomic and cells and everything. It's and we are part of that dance, and we are all moving, you know, in synchronicity, you know, to the measure of the rhythmic songs of the universe. And it's so beautiful. And then when you begin to understand, when you begin to know that you're part of this wonderful energy, you're not separate from it, you will fear nothing. You won't hesitate like the lion to be who you are, to express what you need to express. And you will feel limitless. And such a beautiful energy coming into August. And we want to actually carry that throughout the rest of this year and moving forward. And until, you know, we get to that place where we are actually have totally embraced I am present. And then knowing I am present because I am part of this limitless universe, the cosmic energy. So I'm going to end this reading here. Kind of went a little long today, and then I'm going to get into the tarot. You can stop here, or you can follow me over to the tarot, and that will be in, there'll be timestamp below. All right, thank you for joining me, and look forward to seeing you over there. If not, aloha, e keikahi, keikahi. Love one another. Aloha, and welcome back to Moana Anela's Divine Readings. I am Moana, the Hawaiian Gypsy, and this is the tarot section of my reading. If you haven't already, did the Mayan reading first, and then tarot, and then I do the Mudra meditation after this. So you're welcome to watch all three, or you're welcome to just watch one section. So this will be the tarot, and I may or may not refer to the cards behind. If you do want to know what those cards are about, I went through all of them, and the Moonology cards as well in the first section of the reading. So okay, we're gonna get into the tarot section. Again, this is general reading, goes without saying. However, it is good to be a reminder. Sometimes even when I watch somebody, I get caught up. What? You said that? That's not going to happen. Yeah, you and I get caught up. But anyways, I'm a Cancer emotional bug. So, all right. So we're just gonna shuffle the cards here. I'll do my best to try to do it on camera. I don't shuffle. I mean, I do shuffle the cards, but I just don't do it on camera. But they are shuffled and picked. The only ones I don't pick are the Moonology cards, because I just want to pick about every month with these monthly readings. I pick. I just take out the cards that represent the moon of the month. So they're the only ones, and they are from the deck, the Moonology Oracle cards, because I just want to get into the energies that are of the moon. Because it's a monthly reading. And back in the day, when they didn't have calendars, that's how they calculated time, was through the moons, the cycles of the moons. All right, so what we got? So my readings are they're based on Ho'o Pono Pono Hawaiian spread of the three selves. And then I just also extract whatever the messages that come from there. So basically, this is the middle self. This is you manifested here on this earth. Basically, you're, you know, who you are, how people see you out in the world. The lower card, yeah, we can see that. The lower card is your lower self. It's your subconscious self. It's also your that fight or flight. Why can't I say that? Fight or flight self. you know, basically it resonates with the root chakra and the sacral chakra. So it kind of is like that survival self. And then the top card is your divine self. So your higher self resonating with the third eye and crown chakra. And of course, the middle self resonates with, excuse me, the solar plexus, heart, and throat chakra. It resonates with 3. Okay, and then this side here is the energies that we're not seeing. Spirit wants to bring to the forefront. Energies we are seeing, but maybe we need a different perspective on it or something like that. And also these cards can represent, sometimes I talk about energies of the past and future as well. Sometimes talking in the lower card can also talk about things of the past, because sometimes there's things in the past that are still affecting us today that, you know, is helpful for us to bring to the forefront in order for us to be able to say, hey, okay, what do I need to do about this? And so that's all the purposes behind going on there. All right, and then I will be I'll be clarifying with the Hazel Moon Tarot deck. These are Hawaiian, and these again, these are Mayan, the Zoltan Mayan Oracle decks. All right, and sorry, I kind of been a little bit all over someplace right now talking, so I'm going to just take a deep breath and collect myself here, and then we'll get into the reading. One of the things I was shocked, usually more cards come out now. I did have a lot of cards come out in the Mayan Oracle reading. I normally only have one, but three of my guest stars came out of the star list, and I usually only read on one, but it was a really good reading. And I had a lot of good information coming out. So basically there's the portal, the Lionsgate portal is open. We are actually coming to the end of that birth canal. Sorry if that bothers some of you, but hey, we all go through it. Well, hopefully we'll go through it, I guess. You know, I'm not going to get into anything medical right now, but anyways, typically we all go through birthing. We all get born, and we all go through a process. And but basically the whole point is we're at the end of that process, and we're about to be pushed through. Excuse my analogy for those who don't feel comfortable, but we are, this is it. We see the light. We're about to be pushed through, and we're about to be pushed out into the whole new world that we're entering. And I'm meaning this whole new world that you're entering for yourselves. Yes, there's a lot of the new normal and all this, but you know, when we get too much into the energies of the external world, things can become a little bit false. When we get a lot of, we can get, you know, lost into a lot of the illusion. This guy said this, that guy said this gal said that, that gal said this person basically said this and that, and these opinion, that opinion. But the thing is, we need to come back to centering, right? Centering with ourselves, okay? We need to align ourselves back to who we are and our course. So let's get into the reading. So for some reason that came out. Some of you may need to hear that. Some of you already probably know that. I'm actually going to bring this guy. This is my Palo Santo. And I apologize. I can't speak today. It's really weird because Mercury retrograde ended. But I swear, I'm still being affected. I don't know about you all, but I am. Okay, so I'm not Seven of Pentacles. Yes, exactly. This is what's happening. So we are really feeling Seven of Pentacles. So this is representing in Hawaiian, so the lower self, the center self, and then the higher self. And lower does not mean less than. It does not mean any, you know, it's not lower energies. It just means that the levels. So let's say first base self, second base self, and then higher base self. However, so this is basically the energies we're feeling that is surrounding us in our lives right now. It's a Seven of Pentacles energy. And I love the fact that they use Seven of Jades. For some reason, Spirit wanted me to bring that up. So what I'm getting is, jade is a really cooling energy. It's a really grounding energy. It's a stone. It has really cooling and grounding energies. So I guess that's coming out. I have a different kind of jade in my stones here. And this is a special kind of jade. Let me see. Let me put that down for a second. There it is. And that's a type of jade. And I just love the colors. And there's many different types of jades. So it may be good for you to, for whoever this resonates with, to get a jade stone or a jade necklace. Anyways, I don't know why that came out, but so jade seems to be pretty important because I've been reading these cards for a while, and yeah, I recognize jade, but it never really was a point. Spirit never really pointed it out to me. However, so the Seven of Pentacles, the Seven of Jades, Jades is basically is wealth, right? It represents the wealth for the Mayan. Also in Chinese, it represents luck, prosperity as well. So, but what's happening is we are reestablishing, as we are reestablishing our basically, if we wanted to think of wealth in the form of, you know, our livelihood, our stability, our family and friends, everything that surrounds us, that gives us purpose and gives us stability and gives us a sense of, you know, our belonging as well, right? Like this is my job, it's my career, this is what gives me a sense of belonging. This is what wakes me up in the morning, and to you know, to get up in the morning and go live my life, you know. So this is all because of so much change, and because right now there is this bit of a sense of pause right now happening in our lives. So we're having a sense of okay, this is interesting. So it's like a lot of change is happening, but then at the same time, we're getting the sense of, I'm feeling like I'm going nowhere, right? And this is for those of you that this resonates for. I'm feeling like there's a sense I'm going nowhere. Even though I'm seeing all this change, like there's a lot of fast movement around me, but all of a sudden I'm not really feeling like I'm going anywhere right now. I see things in the future where I see the change, but at the moment I'm not seeing them taking place. Or I'm seeing them taking place, but I'm not seeing them taking place like fast enough where it's like a real proof, as if, so there's a sense of as if, is this really happening? Is my life really going in this direction? Is this, you know? So it's like as if you signed the papers to buy a car, but the car dealership says, okay, but we're going to order the car, right? Because we got to order to your exact specifications, and that's going to take about a month, right? So you order, you sign the papers, you own the car, but you don't have the car. But you know you own the car, but you're like, do I really own this car? You know, was it just a dream? So these sense of energies that are really happening, that are really going on, and what Spirit is wanting to bring forth as a message, that if you are feeling that, just again, it's a centering, because yes, everything that you have dreamed of, everything that you have worked hard for, again, this is hard work, right? Because this, after this comes the Eight of Pentacles, which represents, Eight of Pentacles represents, you know, the, basically the fruits of your labor being paid off through all your hard work. So everything you've been through, your life lesson. Now, hard work does not just mean manual labor. It also represents all the hard work you did within yourself. That represents how you are here, you know, out in the world. So who you are to your friends, who you are to your family, who you are to your job, your career, and how you're being represented in the world. And if you have been a moment where it's like you've been really questioning that, it's like, you know, I'm kind of done with this life. I want this new life. And that's fair to say it's coming, and that's why you feel it. And it's like, yes, you do have it, and that's why we are giving you, you know, a bit of the proof that it's coming in. So I hope that makes sense, because sometimes I can feel the message, but sometimes I don't know exactly what I'm saying. But so I hope that makes sense. But I know the message I want to say. But as far as the words go, now this is really interesting. Exactly. So this is the 9 of Wands, 9 of Staffs, 9 of Wands, fire energy. So there's a Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries kind of energies. Okay. Sometimes the 9 of Wands can represent a person. Sometimes the 9s can represent people. Like in the 9 of Pentacles, that represents the independent woman. In the 9 of Cups, it represents the person that has their, you know, got their wish fulfilled. In the 9 of Swords, it represents the person that can't sleep at night because of whatever it is going on that is creating them to be mentally tormented. However, the 9 of Wands, so the 9 of Wands could represent the wounded warrior. Basically, to me, the 9 of Wands is definitely that the card of persistence, the card of perseverance. I really love the word of perseverance for this card. And that's exactly coming off of the message from the 7 of Pentacles. And this is interesting because the spot of the tarot card, this is basically the supporting energies, right? It's our root chakra energies, our sacral chakra energies. So it's basically, it's the root of who we are. It's a root that it's a part of ourselves, the subconscious self, that is the stabilizing part of you know, that can have an impact on our reactions to situations. And the nice thing about this coming out is that it's saying you are strong and you are persevering. And yes, there is moments when you're like, I'm tired, I don't want to keep going, I just want to get to the finish line. Well, you are at the finish line. That came through the Mayan Oracle reading, is that that birth canal that I was talking about earlier. Here, the portal. Yes, Spirit is saying, this is here. You are at the end of your own birth canal. So it is needing, Spirit is asking you, yes, keep persevering. There is a bit of a need to keep going. You have learned a lot. And you know, yeah, you're feeling it. And you may be feeling it moving forward for a couple more days or weeks. I'm not going to say month, because it seems like there is the sense of we are going to be where we're going to be by December, November, December. We are going to be where we need to be. So it's going to happen pretty fast. And of course, what came out in the Mayan Oracle also too is a lot of unconventional endings. So, and this can be, you know, this can represent the need for perseverance because of the fact one last thing might hit you that comes out of the blue, but because you have prepared yourself, to me, it's also the card of preparedness. Because you have prepared yourself, you'll be able to handle that surprise. But Spirit wants you to remind you, be who you are. So, as I was saying, 9 could represent a person. It can actually represent you as a person. So that sense of self. So, like the 9 of Pentacles represents the sense of independence. Well, the 9 of Wands represents that sense of like not just being who you are, but now it's time to show that to the world. It's time to bring that inside outside, and you are being born, and that's why you're feeling that, and that's why you're feeling like the intensity, because it gets really intense right before we get pushed out to that free world. And that's what's happening spiritually. And even saying, you know, in some of our cases on a metaphorical physical level of the world, we are getting squeezed through the birth canal and getting pushed into the whole new life, the whole new world. But Spirit wants to remind you to make sure, right? Because we have the Leo new moon on the 19th, and we have Aquarius full moon on the 3rd. So that's all about being yourself and standing in your own self perseverance, perseverance. You know what I mean? Anyways, if you can write that word in the comments. But basically, self-perseverance, preserving, right? Preserving yourself, who you are, your integrity. And so that's what this is all about. That's what the 9 of Wands is all about, is that you didn't learn these lessons just so Spirit could have fun and say, oh geez, let's put another fire under their feet and see what they do. I mean, it was all for you to really grow into the strong sense of being. It was to squeeze your heart so it was to push you into to really, you know, bring up like erupted volcano. I mentioned that earlier, like erupted volcano, to bring that inside outside, to start expressing who you truly are. Okay, that was a long way of saying that, so thank you for bearing with me. So now I'm coming into the higher self, higher energies, and that's so beautiful. We have, yeah, this is the sun. This is the sun card, y'all. Wow. All right, so this tells me, this is the sun card. So not much to say about that, other than this tells me exactly what we're saying, but it tells me it's actually going to happen faster than we think. So we may, by the end of September, we really may really be there by the end of September, you know, that'll basically sooner than later. And what I was just drawn to, so here's the sun here. This is the sun card. And here's the beautiful rainbow. And I'm really being drawn to this rainbow. So what Spirit is saying, you are this rainbow. You're this rainbow. You are this rainbow of beauty. And the thing is to change the perception, almost like the hangman energy, is to change the perception of wow, this is tough, this is hard. You know, it's actually to see. Now, if I look at this guy, he's a wounded warrior, but if you look at his face, he's like, I got this, man. I got this. Nothing can surprise me, even though you might get a surprise, but it's like, you got this. You got this. You are this rainbow. You have all the 7 colors. So it's like, you're ready. You have everything you need for whatever the universe throws at you. And so that's a beautiful thing. And the whole thing is, that rainbow in that card is really, it's hitting right to the sun. That's your pot of gold, is the sun. And that is your abundance. Your abundance is coming in. Your abundance is coming in. And it's actually here. It's just like that car. You have my car analogy. You bought the car, you already have it. It just got to kind of be manifested here on the 3D. I mean, it is there. Your abundance is here, but it's a matter of us lining up, right? It's a matter of the two things lining up. That wasn't good here. 2 things lining up, right? Ding. So that's what's going on, and that's what I talked about earlier in the Mayan Oracle. Is what the numerology of the Mayan Oracles. If you don't watch that reading, if you're not familiar with the cards, basically it's 3 parts. We have the star glyphs, the numerologies, and then we have the lenses. These are the lenses. So, but this is what this is talking about: lining up, the measure. Okay, and if we think about the music, right, resonating frequency. If we're singing and we're off tune, that means, you know, the vibrations are not lining up. They're not, you know, the resonating frequency is not in harmony. So this is about lining up, right? Like lining up our chakras. If I put it this way, like lining up our chakras, even though it's 4, we need to add 3 more. But the thing is about lining things up And then once they're aligned, then we, you know, we get the 10 wand, and then we can lay down all the lessons of the past and we can move forward, right? Going from the 9 of wands to the 10 is like, oh, because you got this. Now everything's lined up. You got the 10, that's the one. It's time to lay down everything from the past and let it go. And then now you have 8, the number 8, which is a complete self. So to me, how I explain the 8 is like having everything all lined up. And then after 8 is a 9, which is the last number of numerology. So yeah, so it's like taking the foundations and lining them all up. And then you're going to see everything will become effortless. And then everything will arrive, will manifest. I'm just going to turn to both these cards. Oh, look at that. We got the wheel. Oh, we got the wheel. Nice. Okay. So things, hidden energies that we're not seeing is Lord. There we go. He's the Lord of Wands. Well, the Lord of Wands is the King of Wands. So what I'm getting from what's the energies, the messages that are coming through is basically is all about the self-expression. The King of Wands, he's like that entrepreneurial guy. But if we want to take the perspective of life is an entrepreneurial, right? So Spirit is saying, yes, don't settle again. Don't just go with what you know, society or what you know, what your environment throws at you, right? You can take what you like from that, but Spirit wants to say you are much more than that. Go higher, go above that. Be creative. It's time to really like that creativity and expression, that creative expression, and bring it out again. Like Spirit keeps giving me this vision of an eruptive volcano. Like, it's not time to be soft and gentle, like shy. Get rid of that. There's no need. You are the lion, right? And it's like, and so much creativity is coming. It's time. It's really time now to express who you are. Step into your power. And it's time to really bring that creativity, add it to the world, right? Add it to the world. Don't just participate in the environment around you. Add to it. Because you got so much to give, and you're going to add so much beauty when you do that. And I'm not saying you're not doing it already, but maybe if you're adding and you're having this feeling like, well, I would like to do more. You know, open your own YouTube channel. You know, what else? Do more. It doesn't have to be just social media. If you like social media, do videos. Do more on you know, I don't want to get stuck with Facebook, but whatever, Facebook or Instagram. Do self-expressive things, creative things, like if it's poetry, if it's singing, if it's building something. And if you're not social media person, then do classes. You know, do classes. I know a lot of things are going online, so there might be a format to be able to do what you creatively do classes. You know, of course, you know, abiding by all the social distancing and everything like that. But there's a way to do these things. There's a way to get it done. Use your creativity. It's limitless now. Yeah. So sure, there may be some rules and regulations, and that's fine. And that, you know, to me, I kind of like it because I take it as a challenge. Like, okay, how can I take this rules and regulation? And I know I got to talk about the wheel, but these cards are wanting to come out now. They're telling me stop talking and get a move on. And then an extra one wants to come out. So yeah, so it's like, okay, well, okay, there's these things in place, you know, but I know I'm not limitless. I know I have these higher creative forces. So how can I work with this? That's what Spirit wants you to be, right? That's this wounded warrior You know, he doesn't go through these lessons of 9 years for no reason. And there's this little face there. There he is. For no reason. Look how smart he looks. He's, oh yeah, I got this because I got my own little secret. I got my own little surprise. So show the world what surprise you have. Because you do. You have a surprise. You're a creative being. Let's see. Ooh. Speaking of which, on the bottom of the deck, we have 3 of Cups. That's Waimea. That's Waimea. It's one of the oldest places on the planet. Very beautiful. So 3 of Cups, creation, expansion, working together. So yes, I'm getting for some of you that this message resonates. It is a time, and I kind of got that. I got that like classes, teaching, something like that. It is a time to start working together. So we're going to talk about this wheel. And so yeah, well, I mean, what else is there to say, right? It's the wheels are turning. And of course, the wheel is the universe. And it's like jump on that universal train, right? Get into that creative space, that creativity, because the universe is calling out to you. And I know some of you are hearing that call. So allow it to answer that call. Answer that call of the universe. And you got something. See this? I know. I keep going back to this guy, this guy here, or gal, however. But he look at that. More and more I look at him, I see, yeah, he's like, he got something. He's got a plan. He got a plan of his own. And yes, Spirit wants you to be self-expressive. Spirit wants you to now contribute, add to your creativity. It's a time of new. It's a time for something that's never been done before. But with our creativity. Okay, so I'm going to just kind of pull them all over. And so I always start, even though it's in the middle, I start with the middle stuff because it represents, like, you know, ourselves to the world here. And we have the King of Cups. So there it is. King of Cups. So yeah. So no, basically the King of Cups, I did take a breath because so many things, I just got so excited. So many things wanted to come out at once. I was like, no, just take a breath. But the one thing I really wanted to say is this King of Cups. We always talk about the Empress. We always talk about the Queen of Cups being highly intuitive, and then the you know, the as well as the High Priestess. Always, you know, high intuitive and the Moon card. However, I really want to say that the King of Cups, he can be so powerfully intuitive as well. Because he has the control. Like, look at all the water. It's so beautiful. And because he has control over all his emotions. And so what I wanted to say with this intuition, it's a different kind of, well, they're all special, but it's a different kind of intuition. It's an intuition with knowing. It's just kind of like Gnostic knowing, right? So, and that's like allowing this portal to connect you to the other world, the spirit world, and follow that portal. He's going to know. He's the one that can close his eyes and know where he's walking in the night, because he can see through that intuitive sense the world, where the world is all, the medium of the world is all water, right? It's all water. And with that, you know, it's like when the dolphins, you know, they find themselves, or the whales, you know, they can find themselves, you know, distances apart, right? Like miles apart. They can find themselves through that sonic vibration, right? That sonic sound. And it's all vibration. And then that vibration itself can give sight. And so he has this insight within him. And Spirit is saying to you, now I say him, but just because it's a masculine, right? But it doesn't matter if you're male or female. You have this insight that you can see. Even if you can't physically see, you'll still know where you're going. And with that, so with the Seven of Pentacles, Spirit is saying, it's reminding you, even though things seem to pause, even though things may seem a bit illusionary, and we're reassessing our lives, but we're not quite too sure what to reassess, because things seem to be elusive right now. They seem to be a little bit in the illusionary or fantasy world, because not much is tangible right now because of so much change. So with that change, it's creating this pause in our life. It's like, I'm waiting for the somebody to make a decision so I can move forward. So we're kind of being, the Seven of Pentacles is kind of being impacted on us from external influences, right? So it's like, almost like, well, I'm forced to reevaluate my life because of the changes that are going on around the world. But Spirit's saying, have faith, because even without knowing, this Gnostic intuitive sense that you have insight, a deeper insight. That's that third eye. You have a deeper insight to where you're going, and you don't need proof right now of certain things. You just need to keep connecting, and also when you connect to your that deeper intuitive body, you are also connecting to your higher self, which is allowing the portal to align. Right? Again, the word align, we allow the portal to align ourselves into that perfect resonating frequency, right, of sound and light. And we have the Five of Swords, and I knew this card was going to come out. And so the Five of Swords is that sense of, it's coming from, okay, so with this energy, so we're still hanging on a little bit of this energy that we still need to have to protect ourselves, because we are feeling there's something more coming. And then in the Mayan Oracle, I did mention there, as the storm is going to get worse before it gets better, but that's only because we are right at the end. And Spirit, I'm going to repeat this again in case some of you didn't watch it, but Spirit wants us to remind us, we got this. Just connect with who you truly are, right? Aquarian full moon on the 3rd. Leo full moon on the 19th. Leo new moon on the 19th. Aquarian full moon on the 3rd. Leo new moon on the 19th. So we can really, these moons, even though nothing majorly significant like eclipse, but we don't need that. We don't always need something fabulous. It's always fabulous. And Spirit is saying, look what we are giving you. We're giving you the gifts of these moons. And then in around December, Saturn will move back into Aquarius. And Spirit is showing us, look, we only moved Saturn back into Capricorn so we can finish off. So when we come out new, when we come to that birthing canal, there's nothing stopping you from being and expressing who you truly are, right? There's this deep, fiery, expressive creativity inside of you that wants to come out like a volcano. So into the higher divinity, and there's justice on the sun. That is your justice. You are going to be rewarded. Everything you worked hard for, everything. Just keep believing in yourself. And then the warrior represents the knight. And here we got Knight of Fire. So that is Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. And we have a warrior on top of a king. Well, clarifying the king, sorry. And interesting, a lot of Moana energy. And I kind of saw this card, for some reason, I was looking at this card, I kind of saw him, the Knight of Wands. And so basically, it's time to be playful. You got to be playful. You got to be creative. You have to be playful with yourself. Be playful with your life right now. It's not a time to be really serious. If you're at pause, then just start doing things that you really like. Also, warriors, knights and queens. Basically, the wands is also can talk about really like the self-care. So we have Octa came out. Octa is the dog in the Mayans, and the star glyph dog. And anyways, he also talked about healing. So part of your healing, okay, part of your healing, like he's a survivor, so his physical health is strong. Come on, come on, come on. So his physical health is strong. Okay, so part of your healing, Spirit's asking for you. It's funny how Spirit's asking for you to are reminding us. I like to say, oh, really, Spirit, you want to ask me to go and have fun and take care of, do something nice? Sure. Oh, I think I can handle that request. Anyways, so you got mostly your physical health intact. So the missing key, you might be feeling, well, why am I feeling tired? Why am I feeling? Because it could be this sense of that last piece of care. We have 4 bodies. There's 4 suits in the tarot, which also represents 4 bodies. The physical, pentacles, the mind, swords, the fire, which is spirit, which is also motivation and inspiration, which is wands, and then cups, which is emotion. But right now, Spirit is bringing out the wands, right? We got wands here, right? That's the 9 of wands, and as I say, that can represent you as a person. And then we have both clarifying card. We have clarifying card, Knight of Wands, and then the King of Wands. And so like all this wand energy, but a lot of it is kind of male, you know, kind of male energies. Right, King? So that masculine, which is Leo, right? So it's that outward look. So Spirit is really, really calling us now. Yeah, you know, make yourself look amazing. You know, make yourself radiant to the world. And if part of that is like, you know, like dressing nice, I don't know if you're a man or woman, or, you know, whatever you do, if it's makeup, if it's, you know, yeah, dressing nice, makeup, hair, do something, you know, to, you know, on the external appearance, if that's been lacking, you know, whatever. And it's, you know, it's inspirational. It's that passion. So, but do something that radiates outwardly, passion. That is a passion that you can radiate outwardly, and you know, and you know, do something nice for yourself. Yeah, and that energy is really coming out. So, clarifying the wheel, we have the King of Wands again. Wow. So it is, Spirit is saying, yes. So that is what's going to help you to step into this King of Wands, right? The lion, he's the king of the jungle, right? That king energy, whether you're male or female. So we have a lot of the healing coming from the mother in the Mayan Oracle, which is Mayan, can be a lot of feminine energies as well. So we had a lot of mother nurturing energy. So there is a sense also to cup energy coming out to nurture yourself, you know, love yourself. So that message came out too about, you know, an inner love, like tap into the love from the universe, that unconditional love, tap into that and allow that to grow within your heart. If you are interested more in that message, I do recommend going back and watching the Mayan reading if you haven't. But it talks about that. So there's a nurturing love that we want to tap in for ourselves. And we got to make sure we give it to ourselves. If we're giving to others and we're not there, well, we have to like go back. We have to come back into the self, maybe spend some time to yourself and nurture yourself. And then now the tarot is coming out. Now balancing that is now the outside of that love. So more of that, you know, passionate kind of love. If we think about, you know, oh, you know, looking hot for a date or something like that. Now, if you're not interested in dating, that's okay. But there's nothing wrong with saying, you know, well, what would I do if I were on a date? You know, somebody that's really gonna, you know, make me excited, because that could be you, right? I mean, I'm not embarrassed. I'll say it. I date myself, right? I mean, you know, like dress up, go out and have fun, and hey, it's all good. And just as I was speaking, talking about cups energy, here comes the 8 of Cups. So 8 of Cups is about walking away. Why are you walking away, right? Because you're walking away from the things that are emotionally, spiritually not serving you. right? They're not supporting you. You know, we need that type of emotional support where we need support, right? To help motivate our fire side, the passion side. Sometimes we need that motivation, you know, that's a nurturing, motherly love type of motivation. Like, yes, you can do it. That support. And when we don't have that support, it's like, well, I think I need to walk away. And that message is coming through. I don't know if I mentioned it actually in the mind, but there is a sense of letting go, walking away. And we need to walk away from things we're not being supported, things that are not supporting us anymore. And the reason why I say that simply, because I don't want, it's not time anymore. We're you know, we have to have like, you know, oh, narcissistic and abusive relationships, so I got to get out of that. Okay, of course you do if you're in that. But what I'm trying to say is we can even leave a situation, even if it's not that bad. And that's the whole thing. You know, and that's kind of like preventative measure. Like, I'm going to leave a situation. I'm not going to allow myself to even get in this situation, let alone an abusive situation. So it's saying, and I know this is kind of harsh to say, however, it is important. It's where we are at. And look at this. I do an Oracle card. And I love this card. And it's the Lovers. So Universal Lovers. So this to me, I mean, it's not a love reading, but you can take it. You can take it as a message on love. So some of you, of course, by loving yourself, by stepping in who you really are, you're really going to find that strong, passionate lover. You're that complementary partner. And it's going to be amazing. But also, too, you're going to feel this love from the universe. And you're just going to feel amazing. You're going to feel amazing. All right, so before I cut out, that is a beautiful card to end the reading, but I wanted to pick from the Aboriginal Dreamtime, just some totem cards here real quick. These are beautiful cards. I really love them. And we're just going to end with one of these. I'm kind of shuffling, and I'm not good for shuffling. Oh, she wanted to come out, so there it is. Oh, and then Spirit, I felt three. I was trying to get one. I felt three, but two fell out, and then Spirit had me look at this one, and then look what it says. So that's definitely a message. Confident. You confuse confidence with ego. There is no shame in confidence. It's about knowing who you are and when you want. And most importantly, having the courage to stand in your own power. Isn't that a beautiful message? Don't worry what it says about the beginning there. You confuse confidence with ego. Basically what it's saying is do what you got to do. Do what's best for you. Don't do something because you think that's what you have to do in order to whatever, you know, that the whole idea of pressure. What do they call it? Young kids in school, they have that peer pressure. Yeah. Don't do anything because of peer pressure, what somebody, you know, what everybody else is saying. Don't even listen to that. It's time to shut all that. It's time to walk away from all that. That's not emotionally serving. And so it's time for you to be you. Exactly what this whole reading is about. And then the other two is faith. What? Having that faith. That was the whole, you know, walking the King of Cups. That he has the insight. And know you have the insight. You do. And allow this for you and the higher being, their higher self, however you see that, the divine beings and you to come in together and line up and meet through the portal. Loving and then letting go is not only one of the most challenging things we can do, it's also the bravest. So take a deep breath and know this is right. Absolutely know that is right. And then, oh wow, richness. There you go. There's your Sun card. There's the Lovers and the Sun card. This is where we're going. So have the faith and be you. I mean, no matter what we do, we can never truly embrace our abundance that is meant for us, that the universe wants to give us, if we're not being ourselves, because the real richness is in that. The real richness is in being who we are. So search further. The deeper you explore this issue, the more truth you will find. It will be well worth the effort. There it is. So weather that storm. So keep weathering that storm, because you've got this. You've got this. And I'm going to end the reading there. Lovers. Don't we all love that card? I can't believe that came out. That's beautiful. Actually, I can believe it came out. All right. Lots of love. And look forward to seeing you guys next month. I'm going to try to get the monthly love readings out. And then hopefully I can get some career readings out. But until then, lots of love and light to you all. Keep growing. Keep pushing through. Weather the storm. You got this. All right. Aloha. Aloha. Keikahi. Ike kahi. Love one another.